So I think that the earliest public connection to police abuse being recorded, although on film and not necessarily on video, was the police abuse during the civil rights movement in the South, in Selma, Alabama, in various cities where you saw the fire hoses and the dogs being turned on. I'm breaking up just thinking about it. A few years ago on New Year's Eve, a BART police officer shot and killed a man named Oscar Grant. And this was captured on 4, 5, 6 different cell phones from different angles. This technology had arrived, and not only has it arrived in everyone's hands who has a cell phone camera, but it's also arrived with the police departments who are now using this.
We're going through eastbound. Going north. Yeah. Going back west. Hold on. Hey, it's not all that. Get your hands up now. Stop right there. I'm going to tase you. I'm going to tase you if you do not stop. I'm going to tase you. Then don't. Then stop. I have him right here, guys. Boxed in. No, stop that unit, just stop right there. I'm going to hit you with this taser. If you do not stop, I'm going to light you up.
The latest technological advance that is likely to revolutionize policing is on-body recording systems.
On the ground. You got to be out of your damn mind.
What happens on the street away from the cruiser has always been the subject of a lot of contention and a lot of litigation. You'll have somebody making a complaint about a police officer, and if it's one citizen and one officer, you can have an accusation and then denial by the officer, and nobody really knows what has happened. Now we'll have the ability not just to know what happened, but to treat that systemically, to make police forces better and make them more protective of people's civil rights. There are a number of vendors now who are working in this space that have on-body recording systems. The real gold standard, the one that really hits it right this time, it's Axon-Flex, and it includes a back end that's called evidence.com.
The Axon-Flex is a breakthrough point-of-view video system that will revolutionize transparency.
With Axon-Flex, it's simple. You record in the field, you dock the unit, which automatically uploads, and then you view and share your files on evidence.com.
You can better protect your officers today with Taser and Axon-Flex.
Get on the ground! Get on the ground! Hands on top of head, everyone! Do not move!
We developed the X26 in 2003, made it with a camera. So the camera came out with that as well as an accessory called the Taser Cam. When we launched it, very well received. Aha, let's start filming things that aren't being, exposed to just Taser deployments. And the only way to do that is put a camera on someone. Well, no one's gonna walk around with a camera, it's gotta be worn. We're kind of that cusp where we were with Taser devices many years ago when people said, you'll get a few guys to wear them. The vast majority of this planet is going to be using Taser devices, and we know cameras are rapidly exploding right now. That's where it's going. 3 years ago, the chiefs were saying, nah, we're not going to take cameras. They're being recorded whether they like it or not. All you do is take an iPhone off your hip and record these officers, or take a look at how many CCTV cameras are out throughout the world. They're being recorded whether they like it or not. So the question is, don't you want to be recorded from your own point of view?
We have 50 units that we deployed back in October. We purchased these 50 for the one-year pilot program.
I don't see why anyone wouldn't want to use these. It is nothing for me but a positive thing. It's nothing but a good thing for me. This street, drugs, shootings. We just had a homicide in this apartment complex last week. Just everything and anything.
How old are you? 4. Okay, so why are you drinking out here, and why are you dropping stuff out of your pocket?
Oh no, that's just a business card, man. Here you go.
Look, this guy's going running.
Does having a camera prevent an officer from engaging in behavior that he wouldn't behave on if he didn't know he was being taped? I don't know. Perhaps in some cases, but in other cases, I imagine that the officer believes he or she is doing the right thing at the time.
So the guy comes out of nowhere and is complaining that, you know, he doesn't have a gun and I'm in the wrong for pointing my gun at him, and I didn't search the guy yet, so I don't know that he doesn't have a gun underneath his waistband.
Hey, shut your mouth.
If the citizens are able to see what we have to put up with and what we actually do, they're more likely to understand why we did what we did.
That doesn't matter. I am armed. Keep walking, partner.
For what it's worth, it's hard to argue that the police shouldn't have the same rights that you or I have. But it does make sense that in order for this to be usable as evidence against someone, that it's in line with the Miranda rights that they should have to be notified that they're being filmed.
Can will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to the presence of an attorney.
And you're talking directly to a person, they may look at it, but they don't say anything about it because they're not sure, or they don't care because of the situation they're in.
Mesa, police, get out of here now. This building's on fire.
I've yet to have someone say, "Don't record me."
What if they did?
Then I would say, too bad.
When the police film you, they will quickly bring up the fact that you have no right to privacy in a public space, despite the fact that they will say that this is a private issue that they're dealing with and that you can't film them.
I mean, we have generally supported the use of videotape because we think that the transparency is necessary and I think in the end it's good for the public. I think it's important that the information be retained and that people have access to that information.
Most citizens aren't concerned about this issue enough to bankroll a lawsuit to question whether or not we, the public, have a right to the video being recorded by the police officers working on the public's dime. If you ask the police why you can't, as a journalist, get a copy of that tape, they say to protect the privacy of the person who they claim has no privacy in a public place. So it starts to feel a bit Orwellian once you start navigating these public records requests.
At the end of the shift, we go back, we take them off, we put them to a charging station. Now it starts uploading all the videos, and it starts uploading those to a secure cloud called evidence.com.
All of this data that an officer is going to generate by wearing one of these systems is protected, can't be manipulated, can't be deleted intentionally by officers, and will be available for defense attorneys, prosecuting attorneys, civil rights advocates, and police command staff for oversight purposes. And that's something that hasn't been available to any of us before.
Every action is recorded. If you go into this file as an administrator, it'll show what you did. It'll tag, Joe Blow did this today. He opened up the file, made edits, but it keeps the original file too.
Who has access to these videos? Can these videos be used in your defense, or is it just something that the government will use to get you?
Unfortunately, because on-body recording systems are so new, not that many agencies have policies to deal with them.
They were getting a call.
Arizona, Charles Frank, 3590 Greenfield in
I've had people that watch my videos, and it's almost to the point that they don't look like they want to actually jump through the screen and try to help me, like a video game, almost see what that officer had to do, versus them seeing the defendant here dressed in a three-piece suit, hair combed, sober, looking like an upstanding citizen. But when we dealt with him, 6 months earlier, he was drunk, belligerent, very angry at us for whatever reason, and we had to arrest him.
I can go to sleep anytime, man. I'm gonna punch you in the face, motherfucker. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Yeah, James, turn around. Do it. Infinity, Billy. Turn around, James. Go to sleep. James, turn around. Turn around now. Are you ready to go to sleep? Turn around. Okay, I'm going to sleep. Turn around. Turn around. How about now? You're taking the custody. You still don't feel good enough? Bye. Good night. Good night. Good night. Good night. Bye. Wake up. Tell me if I have to. Call it.
The officers, we've had several officers that were real hesitant in the beginning, like 4 and 5 months ago, because they didn't like the fact that a camera was on their head and they maybe felt like they were being watched. Those same officers have, in the last week or two, have come to me and said, hey, if you take my camera away, I'm going to be upset.
No, I'm not. No, nothing. No, it's not gonna happen. Oh, I got a beanie. Oh, yeah.
Put your hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back.
Technology is inherently neutral. It can be used positively, it can be used negatively. There are absolutely significant civil liberties concerns when you implement either a dash cam or an on-body recording system.
Down on the ground! Down on the ground, I'll tease you. Down on the ground!
His stomach's moving back and forth. His eyes are closed, bleeding from his back of his head. Yeah, I'm not gonna move him. Oh, shit! Get away! Get away! Holy crap!
The audience has huge reasons to be hopeful about the use of this technology because it's going to cut down on bad interactions between officers and the people that they interact with.
Get on the goddamn ground! Put the gun down! Come here!
Those are things that we've missed until now because we haven't really had the officer's perspective, and now we do.
Drop the gun! Drop it now! Drop it!